Here we are, Theo with Amateur Sports TV. Tee to Green with my boy, Jared Ladoruk, Golf Manitoba. Yeah. We had a chance to chat real quick in August, right before we had the big tournament at Southwood.
Yeah.
And great event, great venue.
Yep.
How did it all turn out?
Yeah, so our involvement with that event is we hosted the Monday qualifier.
Right.
I think 65 was low round of the day, and we sent 8 players off to the main event. I was out there on Thursday to take it in. The weather was great. The golf course looked amazing, and it was a good test. It got a little bit windy, I believe, on the final day. I think there was a 61 shot during the week.
Wow.
So that was a new course record, to my understanding. So yeah, hats off to Adam Boga and his team over with the Players Cup, and Jeff Scott, GM over at Southwood, for putting in, Andrew Steep, who's the head professional, for putting on a great week.
Yeah.
Right. So
shout out to the boys, just a friendly shout out to the three of them, and of course
Yeah.
we always talk about the fescue and the wins out there. And
Yeah.
definitely can wreak havoc or play nice if it's. I think you said around a 61 shot, and like you said,
Yeah.
qualifier 65 is pretty good. So
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of August, and then throughout
Yeah.
August we had some interclub finals, some
Yeah.
whatnots for all the different ages and the different demographics.
Yeah, so our we'll call them our majors ended when the last time we spoke, end of July, and then as we get into August, our events move into more of a team format. Later in the month, we had our ladies interclub championship, which is we did something new. We had an A and a B division. We got them all together at Carmen, and we played a shotgun style start, which was really neat. They all finished at the same time, and we had a great turnout for it. The weather was held off for us. We had about a half-hour delay, but it was nice to see. It's a great format. Teams of 4 play, and we count the best 3. And there's a net and a gross division, so we did that. And then the next day we had our senior interclub championship, which was held at Links of the Lake. The weather was not so nice, but we had some good play there, and again, team format as well. And then just this week on the 3rd, we finished things off at Glendale with our provincial interclub championship. So nice to see the teams come out and play and participate in those events.
So seasons, would we say, wrapped up right now?
For the events that we host, yes. Still on the calendar, September 10th to the 13th at Cedar Brae Golf Club in Ontario and Scarborough, where our senior men's interprovincial team will go to try and capture a Canadian title. Okay. We have a great team: Mike Walker from St. Boniface, Garth Collings from Breezy Bend, and Bruce North, who's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame later on this month. Yeah. We'll be playing. So that on paper, that's a strong team. There's a lot of good golf between those 3. So hopefully we'll be watching them and cheering them on next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So later on in the month, or at the beginning of October, I think, is the Hall of Fame dinner, you said, right?
Yep.
The induction ceremony.
Induction ceremony, yep. So that'll be the 17th induction ceremony. And we have 2 athletes in the builder. So Brian E. Brown will be inducted. We have Rob Officer, who's a superintendent, will be inducted. And then Bruce North will be inducted from Carmen. And then the 1985 Canadian Junior Men's Interprovincial Team National Champions.
Say that 5 times fast.
will be inducted. And that's Todd Fanning, Dave McMillan, Glenn Collins, and Ken Tresser Jr. were the 4 playing individuals, and then Jim Bristow was a non-playing captain. So they won the Interprovincial Junior title back in '85, and they'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it's a great celebration of golf that happens at the end of the month, and we're looking forward to honoring those individuals.
That's a team that you recognize some of those names.
You do recognize a few names.
I think one of them is a club representative for Titleist, and
so that would be Dave McMillan is the general manager at Elmhurst. Yeah, but a fine player in himself.
Phenomenal player.
Played in the Canadian Tour.
I've seen him a couple of times play.
Yeah, quite. And Todd Fanning.
And Todd Fanning. I mean, that name. You hear that name once in a while, and when it's mentioned, it's usually on a leaderboard or doing very well in the tours.
Now an amateur, but played as a professional for many years and did quite well. So, but yeah, nice to have that group come together and to honor and recognize them for their accomplishments in golf. And then, Bryony Brown was one of our, back in the early '90s. She was a very accomplished junior female golfer. Won Manitoba titles, national titles. And then Bruce North has been around for a long time as well. Won our senior championship last year, but is playing on the national team or interprovincial team this year, and has quite a a long list of accomplishments in competitive golf. And then Rob Officer, I mentioned, a superintendent, quite a resume that he has, giving back to the game in terms of giving us an opportunity to play on all the great golf courses that we have in the province. So
I don't think superintendents get enough credit, really, because those courses and the number of courses that they have to landscape and take care of through all of the inclement weather that we have is pretty substantial. I mean, you talk about when a course opens, so finally when a course closes, all of the little details they take care of, we take for granted as golfers. And a shout out to all of the superintendents for what they do throughout the course of the 3 seasons for all us golfers.
Very much so. I mean, if you look at the temperature variations that we have from plus 40 to minus 40, right? So they have a very difficult job. We have a short golf season, but they do excellent work, and so absolutely
Props.
A shout out to them. So yeah.
We also have an awards dinner coming up after the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So following that, our AGM, which is our annual general meeting for our association. It's a small part of the event, but probably the anchor to the event is our annual awards ceremony and dinner, or I should say reception, where we recognize the accomplishments from all the stakeholders in amateur golf, from our players and our competitors, our teams, our volunteers, and then those individuals who contributed to the game throughout the year. And then we also recognize our Golfer of the Year, female and male Golfer of the Year, and that will be announced at the event. And then we'll get together with our committee next week, and we'll go over our finalists, and we'll determine. They will determine, I should say, who will be recognized and mentioned later on in October at St. Charles Country Club, October 23rd. So
awesome. Yeah. So that's at Chuck's.
Yep.
Great spot, great venue. I didn't make the list, unfortunately. I only played one charity round this year, but nonetheless, it was a good round, good group of foursome I played with. But thank you very much, Mr. Ladoruk, for joining with us.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck and congratulations on a great season.
Yeah.
And we look forward to doing it again this next month, because I know golf is practiced 12 months of the year by a lot of these players. There is an off season now for golfers, whereas 20 years ago, the off season was the 19th hole.
There you go.
With a straight face from tee to green with Jared Ladoruk here, Golf Manitoba, Theo, Amateur Sports TV.